He joins us. Congratulations, Shachindra, on this outstanding listing, way beyond what the markets had expected. Everyone expected it would be a cracker of a listing, but this is way beyond anyone had expected. Let me start off by asking you the statutory questions everyone asks when something gets listed. What is your guidance for FY08? How much are you going to be earning in terms of EPS numbers?
It would be difficult to give guidance. The way Religare grows, our growth rate has been always been very phenomenal, and I think so we would at least continue to grow in the same manner what we have grown from 06 to 07. So that would give us our EPS for half yearly was around 5.7. So I think so that at least the same level of EPS we would definitely maintain. But we would like market to discover what good things we do only at the end of the year.
Right. So if I compare your EPS on a fully diluted basis, it was actually 5.1, which is a jump from 3.5 to about 5.1, which means a growth of about 80%. So now that the dilution has happened, you're telling us that for next 2 years, your growth is going to be in the range of about 14 to 15 rupees for FY09. I'm just adding up the numbers and just putting your thoughts together in a mathematical fashion.
See, the way you should look at it is that some of our large businesses have just started. We have just concluded our joint venture on the wealth management side. Our asset management business is, we are just expecting SEBI to give its nod. Our life insurance venture is ready to get rolled out. Beside that, there is an aggressive distribution business, insurance broking. They're all coming up. What we have done that over the last 3 years, we have created a large reach in terms of our retail side. Our institutional and wealth side are now growing substantially. So we would definitely grow very substantial numbers. But the way the financial services market itself is highly unpenetrated. To predict a number into this market is very difficult. The market is poised to grow and consolidate. So we are looking at growing into this unpenetrated market and also looking at an opportunity to consolidate and do inorganic acquisitions as well, which we have not done yet. The entire growth of Religare has been very organic. A large management team have worked very hard 24/7 for 3 years, and now we are looking at opportunity both domestic and global to grow ourselves in much larger way.
So Chandra, in terms of these inorganic acquisitions, can you tell us about the targets that you're looking at right now? Because it's one of your stated issues there that most of your money will be targeted to acquisitions right now?
No, it's not that. As I said, is that since Religare is now a listed equity, being listed gives us the opportunity to also look at inorganic route. The money which is being raised would go for the growth of the organization, which is largely it is going for the lending businesses, our business on the personal loan and consumer finance side. But what I said is that since you are listed, you are highly visible. Internationally, more than 300 institutional investors had a look at us. So this gives us an opportunity to look at the inorganic growth. And whenever they come side, because we are a listed equity, that is a currency, you can always use that currency and use those opportunities which will come by to your side.
Shatinder, 2 questions. First, a clarification. You said that 5 rupees 90 paise, that's what you've done in H1 in terms of EPS. So you said that you expect to do as much in the second half. So would it be correct to say that you'll be doing about 12 rupees at least in EPS for the full year?
Yeah, that's why I say we should be surely in that range itself, but the actual number we'll come to know once we close the books. But yes, we should be in that range, and probably if we happen to do well and our internal targets always are much higher. We are very aggressive teams, but definitely we should expect to look at doing that the same.
Now, I'd also like to know what kind of debt equity ratio do you see after the listing and once your expansion plans go through over FY08 and FY09?
See, Religare Enterprises is a holding company and it puts money through capitalization into its subsidiaries. Normally, in our lending book company, which is Religare Finvest, today we are, I think so, is a debt equity ratio, which is, our gearing is around 8 times to 10 times, which should come down to around 5 times. And also this gearing is, because we are a capital market and financial market related company, our gearing keep on changing depending upon opportunities, because we raise money on the rated paper side. So whenever there is opportunity, suppose there is an IPO which is coming up, or there is some other opportunities coming up, so this gearing is not very constant, but yes, we would definitely be in the range of 5 to 6 times of the gearing.
Okay. Going forward, now that you've indicated business rollouts, insurance business rollout, AMC business rollout, these are great businesses with long-term proposition. The problem is that for the initial 2 or 3 years, they tend to be loss-making propositions. So on overall picture, will that be a hit as far as your total PAT number is concerned for FY09? You're entering into businesses with great long-term potential, but in the short term, these businesses would be losing money.
We have always structured businesses. We are a very bottom line driven company. We don't believe in losses, but there are some businesses which are definitely take some amount of time to set in. From that perspective only, if you look at our life insurance venture, it is being established through a special purpose vehicle, where Religare Enterprises only hold 45% of the SPV, rest is held by the promoter investment companies, so that the consolidated loss is not consolidated into Religare Enterprise balance sheet, and there is not a very large cash load on our balance sheet. Having said that, majority of the investors nowadays, we should understand the majority of the investors, whether they are retail or institutional, understand the nature of the losses. So they have the capacity and capability to understand the losses, and market gives value for the losses itself. If that has not been the case, why insurance company which make losses for sustained years still goes for such a high valuation? So even if there are losses, market and analysts have the capability to dissect those losses and see what is the growth potential over a long term.
Okay. My follow-up question now would be, give us a sense of your targeted revenue in FY08, which will come from your brokerage business. FY09, how much of your total revenue would be coming from brokerage business and other distribution business? And I would also appreciate if you could share us the margin picture in brokerage business and in other ventures, so that we get a sense that if you move away from the brokerage business, are you moving into higher margin business, or are you moving away from higher margin business?
All businesses into financial services are high margin business, so we should be all start from that premises. But having said that, brokerage today constitute around, retail brokerage today constitute around 60% of our business, and I think so in year 09 also it would constitute the same ratio. But in terms of value, institutional brokerage, which is only 1% of our gross income, would start gaining momentum, because now we are highly visible a company. One of the reasons for getting listed also to create a high visibility for Religare, and also the rest of other businesses, especially on the businesses which are on the wealth side, our investment banking, which are very high margin business and which are not driven by transaction but rather driven by value, would start doing very well. So because our retail pie is also growing, so it is difficult for me to say that our ratio of the income would change substantially, but in terms of the value, other businesses would start flowing in substantial amount of money. That's what our expectation is. On the brokerage business and the margin thereon, we see that the brokerage business in a very high consolidation mode, and brokerage would get divided into two parts, which is there is a discount brokerage which would come into play, and there is a full fee broking model which would come into play, which is not there today in India. And that's the point of time when we will see that the margin which are under pressure today would start moving up, because people will start valuing advice, and they will start paying money for that advisory services. So the global models of brokerages would start flowing into India very soon.
When will you break even in some of these new businesses like insurance and even asset management? When do you expect to break even there? And also just talk about your international plans, operations and spread that you are targeting.
See, our philosophy for some of the large businesses have been to bring in partnership, which is a very contrary opinion or contrary view which we have taken vis-a-vis a lot of other peer group. And that's why for our asset management business, our wealth business and our life insurance business, we have partners who have the substantial expertise over a very long period of time. So I think so with their expertise, if you look at our wealth management, the Macquarie, who is one of the leading players, global banks, and who does a huge amount of private wealth business, life insurance, where Aragon is the partner, which is world's 4th largest life and pension company, asset management, where they have the inclination or inclination to build a large equity portfolio of business. They would bring substantial value, wherein we would be definitely out